Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Okay. For today, we will continue our lecture with our chapter 5, the fifth chapter, which is known as the project development. So basically, we have covered all of the initial part of electrical and electronic workshop, where we have gone through regarding the safety and health, and then our passive and active components last week. Before that, we did on the multimeter as well as for the oscilloscope and all of the equipments which are available in our labs lah. Alright. So for today, we will proceed with our chapter 5, project development. Can you guys see my screen here?
Yes, sir.
There. Alright.
Yes, sir.
Moment, eh. Okay, sorry about that. So for this okay. For this chapter, we will go through into the project development. So basically, the things that you will be learn today is to familiarize the assembling and soldering techniques, which will supposedly you have to what we call it. You have to do it in the lab lah, normally practically, but because of this online session, so you won't be doing any of this. I don't think there will be any soldering for you lah. Guys, moment sekejap saya sedu lah pula Okay. So the first thing, you will be familiarized with the soldering tools, the procedure and the techniques available. And then how to assembly and soldering the electronic components on the PCB using the correct technique. And to practice a good technique to get a good quality of soldering. Okay. So kalau kita tengok pun dia punya objektif dekat sini semua ni basically they are practical lah, should be practically done. Alright. So for this semester there will be just an information for you lah, okay, because you won't be doing any of this. So to assemble components on the PCB, so these are some of the tools which are required to successfully assemble a PCB. Okay, so these are the basic lah for us, for our level, for educational level. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is sufficient lah already. Right, where you should have your soldering iron with your soldering iron stand. This is where you place your soldering iron while you are using them. And then the soldering pump, in case if you want to desolder your connection. Tweezer for you to use to hold your small components and place them on the PCB. And then you component lead bender to bend all your component lead. For example, kaki resistor tu you nak bengkokkan, so this is the proper equipment. PCB track cutter, in terms if you want to demolish, if you want to delete a track, especially on the strip board lah. Breadboard tak boleh, because breadboard there is already correction in there. strip board, you can still delete some of the tracks to make sure that they are not connected together. So you will be using track cutter. And then your cutter and your long nose pliers. Cutter is for cutting the wire, and then long nose is for placing the components as well, like tweezer, or if you want to bend your component lid, you can use the long nose. Okay. And then soldering iron. Type of soldering iron and tips. If you look into this example here, there are many types of soldering iron which are available in the market. But if you are in we have our class face to face, then you are required to get one of these things lah. Means that you have to obtain one soldering iron for each of you. But might be that for those who came from diploma already have this thing lah. They already bought during their electrical and electronic workshop for diploma. They are also required to buy these things, so you should have them lah. So these are the soldering iron, and then down here benda yang berkilat-kilat ni, that is the soldering tips, which is the pointing tips of your soldering iron where the heating will be happen. Okay. And then soldering pump, sucker or solder wick. So like I said just now, these things, the soldering pump is used to desolder your components. If you happen to solder a component which is wrong, or the component is damaged, broken, or overheated, okay, so you want to replace them, but you have already soldered them into the PCB, so you can remove them by reheat the solder that has been solidized dekat board tu. So you reheat them to liquefy them lah, cairkan dia, and then you use this sucker pump to suck the liquefy timah tadi, what we call it, solder tin. Okay, so by sucking those liquefy solder, then we can remove all the solder on the PCB, so that you can move the lid of the components to remove them from your PCB board lah. Okay, so you can use soldering pump. The other way is by using solder wick. So this is how does solder wick looks before you use them. This is after. So the method is the same. You just place the solder wick on top of the solder that you want to liquefy, yang you nak cairkan. And then on top of the solder wick, you put your tip of your soldering iron to reheat the solder wick, and it will eventually also heat the solder the solder that you want to liquefy just now. So dia serentak lah. At the same time, it is heating the solder wick. It is also heating the solder yang you nak cabut tadi. And then once dah cair, then you just tarik je, then the liquefied solder will stick to the solder wick lah. So dia tak ada pada board lagi. Okay, so this is how you remove your solder, desolder lah. The process of soldering means that you want to stick them on the PCB board. The desoldering process is to remove the solder and to unstick them to the board lah. Okay, these are some example of solder paste or solder flux. So these are acting like a, what we call it, it is basically a material that helps in terms of conducting current lah, okay, dekat you punya circuit. Means that it will help you in terms when you are trying to solder your components. Okay, so normally we'll be using something like this lah, the green one, the white one. This is what normally what we have in the labs. Okay. Solder lead, the cream solder, solder bar. So these are the things that will be liquefied, benda yang akan dicairkan Okay, tin means that they are timah lah. Okay, they are shiny silver colored metal. Kalau kita tengok ni, alright. And then normally we will be using these types of solder in the labs. Okay, the solder bar and solder cream solder or solder paste ni, me myself also tak pernah pakai. I pun tak pernah pakai, so might be that the solder bar we are using in our industry lah for large soldering sizes, but for us we are using this type lah, very thin solder lid, macam dawai jemur kain, macam tu je dia punya size. But they are sensitive to heat, so once you heated the lid ni, dia punya tin tu timah, dan dia akan cair, so that you can place them on the PCB with the lid of the component so that they stick together. Type of cutter or long nose, so there are several types. This is the normal wire cutter and this is normal long nose lah. Okay, this is a type of what we call it, we want to remove the insulation of the jumper, so kita pakai ni lah. Okay, bukan cutter, there is a name of it, I can't remember what it is. Stripper, yes, wire stripper, jumper stripper. So it means that you put your jumper through the mouth of this clamper here, and then when you press it, dia akan grip only the insulated bahagian luar, bahagian getah tu saja, and then dia akan tarik. So the core, which is the connection punya line dekat dalam tu, dia akan stay lah. Alright, this is the proper tools lah. This also you can use lah basically for cutter and long cutter. Long nose normally is for placing components and bending your component as well. So type of PCB, this is one type. This is a normal one, the PCB board, which normally colored in green. And then these three types, these three things, they are known as your strip board. Okay, so for your final year project later on, when you are on your semester 6 and semester 7, when you are designing your circuit, you can use this PCB, this strip board for your prototyping lah. Okay, nak try buat, place them on this board and then solder them together and look into the functionality. But for presentation purposes, please use PCB board. Jangan pakai strip board. Okay, these two things, even though they are working the same, they are working exactly the same purposes, but in terms of presentation, if you are using PCB board, this will help you in obtaining good marks lah. Okay, because PCB board means that you will be doing a lot more things. You'll be doing the designing process, and then you'll start with the etching process to remove the excessive copper that you are not using, and then you need to drill all the pin through hole parts where you want to place all your components and everything lah. But for this one, they are just place it on the board and then solder it from the bottom part of the board, and then that's it. So that will affect the marks of your FYP basically. Okay, so always go for PCB. Tweezer, okay, so tweezer, it is important, even though it is a small things, which is, if you think about it, what can you do with tweezers? Okay, so basically this will help you in the placement of the components, especially all the small components which are almost impossible for you to place them using your finger. Okay, small spaces, okay, tempat yang sangat rapat-rapat and everything, you won't be able to use your finger to place the component lid, so you use tweezers lah, which will help you to go through some tempat-tempat yang sempit, ya kan, celah-celah nak masuk senang. So this is the thing lah, tweezer. So soldering technique. Moment ya. So soldering is accomplished by quickly heating the metal parts to be joined and then applying a flux and a solder to the mating surfaces. So that is how you do it accordingly lah. Means that this will help to ensure that the solder will stick properly to your component pads, the copper pads. Then the finished solder joint metallurgically bonds the part. Okay, so dia akan dihubungkan dengan menggunakan metal iron ni tadilah, forming an excellent electrical connection between wires and a strong mechanical joint between the metal parts. Okay, so heat is supplied with the soldering iron or heat is supplied with the soldering iron or other material ni. Okay, something is missing here, but for us we are using soldering iron lah. So the flux is a chemical cleaner which prepares the hot surfaces for the molten solder. So this one tadi. Okay, it will help in make sure that the solder is able to stick to the board easily lah. Okay, so the solder is a low melting point alloy of non-ferrous metal. So timah tadi tu. Okay, so typically your soldering iron works between 25 to 30 watts, but the tip temperature, which is this point here, it can goes up to 750 degrees of Fahrenheit, which is equivalent to 400 degrees Celsius. So it is very, very hot. Okay, so when you're using them, make sure you have to be extra careful. Okay, one wrong step will, you just imagine 400 degrees stick to your hand. Okay, so this is the soldering iron tip, the structure of it. Inside of them there is a copper inside of the tip of the soldering iron here. Okay, dekat ujung ni there is a copper layer, and then we have a nickel to electroplate, and then chrome as well to cover the whole copper. Alright, so this is the components which are available. So this is the working area, the tip of it. So where you'll be placing your solder on, which is the part will be liquefy your yang akan mencairkan you punya timah tadi, solder. So this is the structure lah. Basically the core structure adalah copper yang memanaskan. Okay. So here, this is the copper. We have the iron plating, we have the chromium plating to cover the copper. Okay, various sizes, various structure, bentuk-bentuk yang berlainan, depends on what you are soldering. Alright, that is about soldering tips. This is about solder itself, which is this one. Okay, so solder is an alloy of tin and lead. So it is a combination between tin, which is timah, dan lead. Okay, dawai biasalah. Okay, besi. The solder used for electronic frequently called 60-40 solder. Okay, itu dia punya nisbah. Okay, because it is made out of 63% of tin and 37% of lead. Okay, it is not 100% tin lah sebenarnya. So this solder melts at 360 degrees of Fahrenheit, which is around nearly 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that is very hot lah, 200. Twice the amount of heat needed for you to boil the water. Okay, you nak minum air, you nak masak air, 100 degrees. So this is twice the heat. So you boleh imagine lah macam mana dia punya panas. So this is some laws which is applied in Europe. So just go through that by yourself. It is not important, by the way. Untin and tin tip of your soldering iron. So a soldering iron must be coated with a thin coat of solder. This will allow for the transfer of heat to the workpiece. So this is how untin soldering iron tips looks like. Okay. This procedure is called tinning. So the tip must be kept coated with a shiny layer of solder by occasional whipping and applying solder directly to the tip. So this is how it looks like. Tin soldering tips. Okay, why you have to do this? Basically, there are two reasons. These tips, they are changing in terms of its temperature. Okay, when it is heating, it will goes up to 300 and 400 degrees, and then when it is not heating, then it will goes to normal room temperature. So when this heating and reheating process keep happening, keep berulang-ulang kali berlaku, what happen, it will cause the tip to become black and sometimes to become macam ni lah, dia koros, berkarat. Okay, so one reason why we did this tinning process is to we want to protect this tip here from broken, while bila dia dah karat tu dia senang nak pecah, nak patah and everything. So this tinning process will help to protect this tip here. That is one reason. The second reason is when you are soldering your components later on, this solder on this tip will melt as well. So it will help in maintaining the size and then to make sure that the solder is evenly produced on the soldering part lah. Okay, selain datang daripada solder itself, dia datang daripada sini sikit. So it will help lah. Okay, so that the shape of your the shape of your solder tu akan jadi even lah, kiri ada, kanan ada. So that helps a lot lah, tinning process. So how do you do the tinning process? First, you have to wipe the tip of the solder on your damp sponge lah. Damp sponge ni normally ada dekat you punya mana tadi? Okay, here. Soldering iron stand dekat tengah-tengah ni. That is where the damp sponge normally placed. Okay, sponge yang lembap. Okay. And then apply some solder on the soldering iron tip and then roll them on the damp sponge again. Okay, kita nak buang yang excess yang terlebih letak tu supaya dia tak terlampau tebal dia punya solder on the tip tu. Okay, so roll pelan-pelan until semua yang excessive solder tu has been removed, and then you akan dapat something like this lah. So instead of it is black like something like this, berkarat and everything, dia a bit shiny, which is covered by a thin layer of solder. Okay, so that is how the process lah basically. This is important for the maintaining of the tip of your soldering iron. Okay, soldering technique, right and wrong techniques. This is wrong. So this is the component lead. Okay, we are assuming that this is a resistor lah. Ni kaki dia masuk ke dalam lubang, and then you place your solder above the lid of the component, and then on top of the solder you put your solder tips, iron tips. Okay, so this is a wrong method. This as well means that you reverse the position of the solder and the soldering tip. So you'll be having something like this. This will not help in obtaining a good soldering technique and soldering quality lah. Okay, what you have to do basically is something like this, where you have to hit the pad with the lid of the components together, and then you apply the solder to it, so that it can be evenly sticking into the pad and the component lid. Okay, so always do it like this. Jangan buat dua cara ni. This won't help, especially this one. You punya solder tu akan melekat dekat you punya tips, and then dia akan bersepak-sepak dekat bawah ni. Dia tak cantik lah. Okay. This way you won't be able to see how much solder has already been liquefied. Okay, you tak nampak, sometimes excess, sometimes tak cukup and everything. That might happen. Okay, so the procedure number 1, to put the soldering iron, touch the component pin and the PCB pad track. So this is how. This is the component lead, component pin. This is the soldering iron. Place them touching the copper track together with the component pins. So reheat both of these things. And then you put your solder lead at the tip of the soldering iron with the component lead, and then once you've notice that the amount of solder is sufficient, dah cukup, nampak macam ketulan dia tu dah mencukupi untuk menutup copper dan melekatkan komponen pin ni, pull the solder lead. Okay, pull the timah tadi tu. Alright, once okay, then you pull your soldering iron and let it become solid lah. Biar dia solid sendiri. So that is the basic techniques procedure yang baik lah. Okay, so example here in terms of diagram. Heat both items at the same time by applying the soldering iron to the copper pad and the component lead. So copper pad, this is copper pad, yeah. Yang ni, the one with the bronze color, that is copper pad, which is this one, copper track, copper pad. Okay. So this is your soldering tip, soldering iron tip. This is your solder timah. Once you have heated them about 3-4 seconds, and then apply few millimeters of solder. Put solders macam tu. The reason why it will melt, because you have heated these two things up together. You dah panaskan pad, you dah panaskan dia punya lead. So when you apply your lead, your solder here, dia akan cair terus. And then remove the iron and allow the solder joint to cool naturally. So it only takes second or two to make the perfect joint, which should appear shiny macam ni lah. Okay, kalau kilat macam ni, kira okay lah, cantik. Okay, so the tinning process just now, if you look at this tip of this, okay, tengok tip dia ni, dia ada lapisan timah, the tinning process tadi. So when you place your solder this way, dia akan melt dekat bahagian sini. Kebanyakan, most of them will be melting this part here. Okay, and then some of this tin which you use for tinning process tadi akan melt, dia akan tambah dekat sebelah sini. So it will help in terms of this process of soldering lah. So instead of you nak letak sini, okay, you want to move the solder mula-mula dekat sini, lepas tu belah sini pula supaya dia even, no need. You can use this apa yang ada dekat soldering tip ni. So that's why tinning process is very important. Push the wires of resistor through the holes and holes you have drilled in your PCB. Wires means dia punya lead lah, kaki dia ni. Okay. And then bend over all the wires. Bend. For example, macam ni tadi. Okay. So, you tengok kaki komponen ni, dia dah tak tegak, mencacak dah. Okay, kita bendkan ke kiri, ke kanan, whichever it suits you. And then, this will help you to, for easy placement of these two things lah, untuk you cairkan copper tadi. So, bend over all the wires. And then clean the point of the iron to take away any dirt on a damp sponge when the iron is heated up. Okay, so bersihkan dulu sikit. This will help you solder to flow properly. So that is very important lah. Okay, kalau hujung solder you tu banyak sangat benda solder yang tebal-tebal yang you pakai sebelum ni, everything has already been stick there from the previous attempt, so that won't help lah sebenarnya. So always remember to clean point tu dekat damp sponge tu. And then thin the iron bit by melting a tiny bit of solder onto the point, the thinning process. So avoid to breathe the fumes because they may be harmful lah, asap dia ni. Then heat your copper track by holding the iron points on it for 3 seconds. So here. Okay, kenakan dekat copper track dan kaki lead components ni dalam 3 seconds, 4 second maximum. Not too long because excess heat will burn the track away. Insufficient heat will cause the solder not to stick. So you cannot heat them for too long or too short. Terlampau lama atau terlampau kejap tak boleh. Alright. Reason terlampau lama copper track will burn, komponen pun boleh rosak. Kalau terlampau perlahan, terlampau kejap, not enough heat, then solder won't stick. Alright. And then once you have reheat them for 3-4 seconds, touch the solder wire onto the track and heat it quickly from above with the iron. So you letaklah macam tu. Okay. And it will melt, liquefy just enough solder to make the joint and then pull the iron away. Okay, not too much, not too little. The joint should look something like this one. Only need a small amount of solder for each joint. So this is a good joint lah. Okay, dah dapat banyak macam ni. It is holding the component lead, covering nearly all of the copper track, and then some of them will go through the hole. Then that is good joint lah. Okay, the joint is complete and we will hold in place. Means that the component won't be able to be moved lah. This one a bad example where not enough solder applied to the soldering process just now, so there is no joint. Means that the lead of the component is not connected to the copper track. So if it is not connected that way, means that it is not connected to the whole circuit lah. Okay, because whole circuit is connected by using this copper track. Okay, then this copper track will be connected to this copper pad where you'll be placing all your component leads lah, the pin through hole component. This one, copper track not heated enough, so not heated long enough, so no joint. This is what happens. You heat this copper track, tak heat ataupun terlampau sekejap, so when there is no heat on the copper track, the solder won't stick to it. Dia tak akan melekat. This one, bad copper track. The reason why, because of excessive heat, it is burned. So no current can pass through, no joint. So you tengok copper track dia has a black coloured here, maksudnya dia dah terbakar lah. So when they are burned, means that there are no connection. Okay, so this is basically the lead prostration. Means that where you cut off the lead from the components after you have soldered them. So give around 0.5 to 1 millimeter lah. Okay, this is where your solder is. This is your component lead yang you potong. So you potong tu make sure ada keluar sikit daripada solder tu. Okay, jangan potong sampai tak nampak dia punya lead tu lah. Okay, so this is one good solder. This is bad solder, bad soldering. If tengok, it is not tak berapa rata. Sini ada, sini tak ada, bad fillet. This is bad solder as well. This won't stick lah. This side here on the right side. This is too much. This is too little. Okay, so we are looking into this. Inilah bentuk macam gunung ni lah. This is the best lah basically. Okay, ni sama lah ni kalau kita tengok. Alright, so kalau you solder macam ni, this is how you look. The base material. Okay, for good solder. Alright, smooth, bright, shiny, clean, concave fillet. So this is how it should look like. Okay, cantik kan? Berkilat. And then dia bukan rata, smooth, macam dia tak, inilah bentuk dia tak tajam-tajam or tak bumpy tak ada. Okay, concave fillet, cantik lah macam tu. And then bila you nak potong kaki lid ni, make sure dalam 0.5 to 1 mm lah. Make sure dia tersembul sikit, jangan sampai tak nampak langsung. So this is bed solder. Okay, kita tengok compare this one and this one lah. Okay, the base material. Example, this one too much solder, dah bulat macam tu kan. So that is not good practice lah. Too little solder. Okay, not soldered. Okay, means that this one you boleh cabut je ni komponen ni sebab dia tak tersoldered bersama dengan timah ni. Cold solder joint. Okay, this is what happen when you have a cold solder joint. Tak cukup heat dekat you punya pad tadi. Solder bridge. This is the one thing yang normally happen. Okay, supposedly these two pads they are not supposed to connect together. Tapi bila you soldered, dia tersambung macam ni, you tak perasan. Okay, so now instead of there are no connection, sekarang dia dah ada connection. So your circuit will be faulty lah. This one, little trace atau lifted ni, bukan little, lifted trace ataupun pad. Means that if you look at this, the copper track has been damaged lah basically. Dia dah tertanggal daripada board you. So if you find something like this, means that you have to redo everything again lah. I mean your PCB board tu kena buat baru lah. You can't use them anymore. Okay. Desoldering process. Solder sucker. Apply heat to the connections to be desoldered, and when the solder melts, trigger the solder sucker. Okay, so how do you trigger them? I'll show you the Okay. Okay, so this is the solder sucker. There is a spring point here where you can push them as how you push to use your normal ball pen lah. Okay, you tekan, dia akan pushkan pump dekat dalam ni untuk dikompreskan angin dalam tu. Once you dah meltkan you punya once you have melt your solder tadi, you push this button to trigger this apa dia punya yang you tolak tadi tu. When you push this, dia akan tolak balik ni ke atas. Okay, same, lebih kurang sama macam pen lah. You nak tulis, you tekan. You tak nak tulis, you tekan balik button bawah dia, dia akan simpan mata pen tu. So when you push this button, means that you will move these things towards its normal position. So the pump will start to compress again lah. So pump tu akan sedut. So whatever it is on the tip of this solder sucker tadi akan disedut masuk ke dalam solder sucker ni tadi. So you press that button lah. So that is how you trigger it. Okay, and then repeat the desoldering as needed until all solder is removed. So remove soldering iron and solder sucker from the area. So might be that it won't be clean after one trial. Might be that you need to redo again until all of the tin are completely removed lah. Okay, so this is where you reheat the solder. This is your soldering pump sucker. Heat and then push the button to suck the. Okay, macam ni dia ada sikit lagi. So reheat them until you move all of the tin from the copper pad. So that is how you do it. Then you can remove your component from the board. Solder wick. So this is how you use it. Finely braided copper that is used to wick away excess solder from the desoldered connection. So how do you do it? Place the solder wick on top of the solder where you want to desolder, and then place your soldering tip to reheat both of them together, and then automatically the liquefied solder will stick to the solder wick, not on the copper track on your board. The reason why, because the solder wick is heated, dia dah dipanaskan, whereas your copper track tu dia tak panas. So bila dia tak panas, solder tak boleh melekat. Bila dia panas, solder akan melekat. So that's why the solder will stick to the solder wick. Okay, so you'll have the desoldered lah, right, like the one that I've told you in the beginning of this lecture just now. Okay, the through hole components, these are the example. Kalau you tengok, okay, some components here, resistor. Okay, kita ada IC here, capacitor, right? This is very neat lah, neat, tidy. Okay, but I don't think this is, I don't know lah, but it looks like this is the machinery works lah. Okay, kalau human ni susah sikit nak dapat cantik-cantik je ni. Okay, example here, kita tengok through hole. So ini kita buat, okay. This is good kalau kita tengok the connection masuk sikit dalam lubang. Okay, so lead from the component, copper pad, solder, soldering tip, circuit board. So that is how you do it lah, just now saya dah terangkan. Okay, so this is the correct way of soldering. The one that you are holding on your left hand, that is the solder, the timah. This is your component lead, this is your soldering iron. Okay, so that is the proper way lah. That is about PTH, pin through hole. This is for surface mount technology. Okay, so this is basically almost impossible for us to use our finger to place the component. Okay, I'll show you why. Okay, this is an example, benda yang dia pegang semua ni kan. These are the components lah. Okay, this, for example, these black things here. These are resistors. And this is your thumb, ibu jari you. So you tengok how can you hold this small size of thing with your finger. You won't be able to use them lah. So that's why you have to use tweezer untuk placekan komponen-komponen ni. Okay, so these are the technologies. Kalau kita tengok, they are very very small. This is the pad untuk kita buat dia punya connection. Okay, acceptable print. This is good. The same way lah tadi. Kalau kita buat kita punya soldering process dekat PTH. Okay, untuk SMT, this is good lah. Okay, the rest ni yang bad connection. Especially this one, bridging. Ini maksudnya memang tak boleh diterima langsung lah. Right? Okay, so look at it. This is very neat. Okay, and I can assure you this is not humans work lah. Ini machine lah, robot buat. Okay, kita tengok cantik ni connection dia. Ni yang silver bawah ni adalah pad untuk kita letak dia punya components. Okay, they are very nice. Okay, for example here, okay, resistors, IC, semua ada dekat sini. Okay, so this is surface mount technology. You don't have to put the components lead through the PCB board. Just place on top of them and then solder them directly. Okay, key points to remember: always keep the tip coated with a thin layer of solder. The the thinning process tadi lah. Use fluxes that are as mild as possible but still provide a strong solder joint. Keep temperature as low as possible while maintaining enough temperature to quickly solder joint. 2 to 3 second maximum for electronic soldering. Jangan terlampau lama. Too long will burn your tracks, will damage your components. Match the tip size of your work. So for us, for our level, we are using the pointy tip lah. Kalau you beli tu, memang you akan dapat yang pointy tip. There are a lot of shape of tips which are available, but that depends on the circuit yang you nak ni lah. Sebenarnya kalau circuit tu besar, then you need large tip lah. Kalau you pakai tip yang kecil, makan masa lah untuk you cairkan the whole timah tu. Okay. Use a tip with a shortest reach possible for a maximum efficiency. So this is important, ya. Don't use the tip which are too long. Bila panjang tangan kita, our hand, it is very hard for us to control the tips untuk for precision lah, untuk tepat. Nak letak benda tu tepat supaya tak bergerak and everything. Kejituan lah. Okay. Wear safety glasses when soldering. So this includes all individuals in the vicinity of someone who is soldering. Okay, that is for your eyes protection. Place soldering iron in an approved holder when not in use. So the iron is hot and can cause burns. Okay, so don't place them. Okay, biasanya dia tinggal di atas meja. Dia nak susun komponen atas board, dia tinggal atas meja. Soldering iron tu dia buat kerja. Kawan dia datang sebelah, ingat solder tu sejuk, pegang, terus melekat dekat tangan. Okay, use the soldering, what we call it, soldering solder stand tadi, to place the soldering iron. Place the soldering iron so that the cord does not get caught up in the arms of or on the others. Okay, so kabel dia tu, be careful with that lah. Okay. Ensure access to proper ventilation. Verify that the type of solder is safe to use in your working environment. For our lab, the solder that has been used from forever lah, dari dulu lagi kita pakai all of the solder which is verified by our government lah. Okay. Secure the components to be soldered before beginning the soldering process. So what does this mean? Before you do the soldering job, make sure the component that you are about to solder is ready. It is already there, just for you to reach them and place them on the board and then solder. Okay, jangan komponen ada dalam box lagi, you dah pegang soldering iron, you have already one hand is already holding your soldering iron ready to solder, and then you look at your PCB board, the component is still not there, and then you'll be using the other hand to pick it up and then to place them on the board, then you want to solder. So that is not suggested. Okay, make sure they are at the ready state, baru you pegang soldering iron. Okay, you are playing with heat, so that is actually dangerous lah. Tie back long hair and remove tuck loose clothing. Okay, for those who are using pakaian yang lengan panjang or everything, so when soldering, lipat lah, bahaya. Use heat sinks for heat sensitive parts. Provide sufficient cooling time before removing part. For this is for heat sensitive components, for example ICs. Okay, ICs, for example, you have normally 14 pins ICs. So when you want to solder them on your board, you kena solder all of the 14 pins. So kalau terlampau lama you hit setiap pin, katakan satu pin you hitkan 10 saat, you have 14 pins, you'll be hitting the ICs for 140 seconds. That will damage the component. Okay, so use heat sinks lah to avoid these things. Do not flick solder iron off the iron. Flicking can cause solder to spray and hit skin or eyes. So once you have melted your solder and then you pull your solder and your soldering tips, tiba-tiba dekat tips tu ada lagi excess solder yang still melekat kat situ, dah cair. Don't flick them up. Jangan ni lah jentik-jentikkan dia. Takut kena orang, mata or anything. Hold the scrap end when cutting excess leads, so that the scrap lead is not thrown into the air. So that is for cutting the component leads lah. You have already soldered the component, dekat bawah tu kaki dia yang lebih you nak potong. So bila nak potong tu hati-hati, takut dia meloncat masuk ke mata bila dipotong. Okay. Cut leads evenly with wire cutters. Of course, don't use other things. Jangan pakai gunting, jangan pakai pisau, jangan pakai sepit kuku. Make sure the leads do not short across each other traces or leads. So this is important, right? Make sure tak ada crossover, tak ada bridging, tak ada connected dengan benda yang tak sepatutnya dia dikonekkan. Throughoutly wash your hands after handling solder, of course lah, alright. Testing the circuit on PCB. So how to find a short circuit in a PCB? First, you can do it by visual inspection. Look for thin whiskers between pads or solder joint. Any cracks or blobs of solder should get carefully attention. Check for unplated wires, poorly plated wires, which can create a short circuit between layers. So that is one way for you to find any problems in your circuit by using visual inspection. Okay, pemerhatian. Infrared imaging, locate areas where a large amount of heat is being generated. So if a hotspot are not seen from the active components, then they might have a PCB short circuit even if the short is between internal layers. Itu menggunakan infrared imaging lah. How to test a circuit for short on an electronic board? First, we can test using your normal digital multimeter. Check the resistance between different points of the circuit. So if visual inspection doesn't reveal any clues as to the location or cause of the short circuit, grab a multimeter and try to track down the physical location on the printed circuit board. Okay, so dah pakai cara pemerhatian, tak jumpa, pakai multimeter. Kita buat measurement, continuity test or everything to detect if there are any problems. Number 2, testing relative to ground. So set one probe on a ground connection and touch the other probe throughout other conductors on the boards. Okay, so satu ke ground, satu lagi set the probe. Okay, conductors to the board. Alright, so kita kena dua ni lah. One probe pergi ke ground, the other probe connectkan to the conductors. The same ground connection will be present on other location on the boards, meaning if you touch each probe, the two different grounded wires, you will read very small resistance. So if there are resistance available dekat dalam readings you, so itu maksudnya circuit you ada short lah. So you can use these two method by using multimeter or relative to ground, but normally we use multimeter saja. How to test a circuit for short? Okay. Number 3, by shorted components. Using multimeter to measure the resistance of the components. In the case where visual inspection did not reveal excessive solder or metallic flakes between the pads, the short may have formed in the internal layers between two pad pins or a component. On a component. So itu secara komponen ni lah, kita tengok by the component itself. And then number 4 is to narrow down the location by checking nearby conductors. With one lead of the multimeter on the suspect shorted connection, move the other lead to different nearby ground connection and check the resistance. Moving further, going ground connections, the resistance change. So meaning that the tester are moving the grounded leads away from the location of the short. Okay, so that you can use as a method for you to identify your problem lah of your circuit. How to find faulty components on PCB? So for this type or incorrectly installed components can be part of a short circuit. Of course, salah install, salah component, it can cause you problems, creating any number of problems in your board. So your component should be carefully counterfeit, creating a shot or the appearances of a shot. Okay, so that is one way. Bad components. Some components have a tendency to go bad, like electrolytic capacitor. Dia senang nak rosak. So do a quick Google search for components that are suspected fail to find out if it's a common issue. Very low resistance measure between two pads or pins, neither of them are ground or power pins may indicate a short circuit due to a burnt out components. Okay, so bila ada dia punya ciri-ciri ni, maksudnya ada burn out. Capacitors will also bulge when they go bad or if the applied voltage exceeds the breakdown threshold. Okay, so capacitor dia akan jadi, dia mengelembung. Okay, capacitor. So summary, in this topic can be concluded that soldering techniques and these rules are very important given emphasis to obtain a good and satisfactory work product. Training and experience will provide the consistency needed for excellent hand soldering result. Part of the training includes a proper understanding of solder characteristics, how to solder ironworks, how to maintain tips, correct techniques, recognizing good solder and joint, and potential problems which available dalam you punya circuit. Alright, I think that's it for this today on the project development part. So we basically has covered nearly all of our chapter lah. Okay, so I will share the link of this video in the VLE later on, but basically you just use them for your reference lah. Okay, obviously you won't be doing any of this. You takkan solder, you takkan design PCB, you takkan design circuit dekat atas board secara hardware, tak ada, there are none. Okay, you only will be using software. Okay, so when it comes to the software, inshallah next week I will give you some practical and some tutorials lah on this basic part of workshop before we can start using our software. I will share you the link of the software for you to download them into your personal laptops lah later on. Okay. So I think that's it from me for today. Project development. Next week we will continue. Next class we will continue with the domestic wiring. This one you don't have to worry about them. We just go through some of these notes. Kita tengok sikit-sikit lah. But none of this topic here will be included into your assessments lah. Tapi sebab dia ada dalam syllabus, so we have to cover them as well. Okay. So this will be continued on Thursday. So from my part, that's it for today. If you guys have any question. Ada soalan tak guys? Tak ada?
Sir.
Yeah.
Isn't Thursday a public holiday?
Thursday, oh yes lah, Thursday public holiday. Okay, tak apalah kalau macam tu, we will proceed next time lah, next class lah nanti. Nanti all classes yang kita miss, we will be having our replacement class lah, which mana kelas-kelas yang kita skip tu, I will replace them with quiz lah later on, which means you have to do it sometimes lah nanti. Kita ganti je macam tu. But there will be no more lecture lah after this. I mean, there is one more lecture for domestic wiring, and then we can start doing our assessment already. Okay? Right, class? Okay or not?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so please scan for your attendance. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask me.
Sir, I'm using my phone, sir.
Okay. For those who are using your phones, I will do it manually. So you have to wait. Tunggu sekejap lah lepas ni. Okay, for those who have scanned your attendance, then you can be dismissed. InsyaAllah, I see you starting next week lah. Kita akan buat balik kelas, right? Okay guys, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, so siapa yang tak boleh scan tadi?
Muhammad Danish Irfan, sir.
Muhammad
Danish Irfan.
Danish Irfan.
Alright,
Siapa
thank
lagi?
you, sir.
Alright.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Saya, sir.
Siapa?
Taufik Marzuki.
Muhammad ke?
Muhammad Taufik.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Saya Irsyad.
Irsyad. Ni, Azrai.
Yes,
Huh?
Azrai.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Alright. Any more? Izzati dia tak ada rasanya. Ada ke Izzati? Muhammad Adam, Ahmad Haris, Izzati tak ada Okay, thank you guys.